instead of payment, they sent me a copy of Nintendogs and a Pokemon game, so I'm pretty much thrilled. They came in yesterday. And while I was setting up the stream, I forgot to find my favorite crochet hook. Here it is. I use the same one for pretty much all of these little creatures because this size is my very favorite. Plus, I mean, come on, look at that color. It's a good one. Nowadays, I pretty much have to use one with this sort of, I think ergonomic might be the word, handle, because I was getting some wrist pain before. And is that partially because of my grip? Yes, absolutely. I tended to grip these a little too tight at first. And I actually haven't crocheted in a few days. It's next week is finals week, so that's been pretty much all consuming. So it already feels good to be working again. And how are you guys? Enjoying the spring weather, dealing with the various challenges of school during a pandemic, whether that be online or in person. My goodness. Hi Fox Story, nice to see ya. You guys can of course let me know if I need to turn the music up or my voice up or one down. As my goodness, it's hard to find an effective way to test it. I always try it out and then it turns out to be a little off balance. So if that's the case, do let me know. Oh, I'm using the same yarn as I used for this little creature right now. Ooh, hang on there. It's so soft. This one works so well. I feel like with the right yarn, everything just goes twice as fast and twice as well. Yeah, I'm crocheting a cat character, so it'll be similar to one of these, just a cat with a big fluffy tail instead, and not wearing a sweater. Although one of the references does have a green sweater, which I think will be super fun. Yeah, crocheting does take so much time and patience, and normally streaming it is about the only time that I'm focused on it as my primary task. It's mostly been a lifesaver this year with all my online classes and everything. I have such a hard time paying attention when I'm there, but at home it's so much worse. So finding crocheting to be something to sit down and keep my hands busy but my mind free has really helped me out with my classes. And actually, as someone with ADHD, it functions the same for me as any sort of fidget. So, my goodness. It's been such a big help doing classes at home. Because I'm also being productive while I do it. I'm making little buddies, and that's been such a gift. Oh nope, I don't want to increase there. Abort stitch. Alright, problem solved. And thank you guys for coming to watch me crochet. I know none of you are really here for this, and my channel's been art and animation, but this is what I've been up to these days. I do have a few animations in the works, a PMV commission, then 2 animated memes that I hope to get done. School's just kind of been taking over. And I'm actually in the process of deciding now whether this art is going to be my main source of income this summer or job. And I feel fortunate to even be in the position where that's a choice. I do think I'm gonna go for the job, but shoot. I'm just so scared to go out into the world again. I've been doing school all remotely and sticking inside due to the pandemic, so going to work with some crazy kiddos again will be a big change. I do think I'm ready though. All vaccinated up, so we should be good there. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're stressed. I hope that you find something to help you out, or at least they just end soon. My gosh. My school situation has been really interesting. We didn't have a spring break this year to try and prevent people traveling too much and then getting infected and coming back. So we've had a few rest days, but we're mostly just cutting our semester short. So we'd normally go into May, but next week is our finals week and then we're all done. And should I be doing some assignments right now? Oh yeah, absolutely I should. But I'm taking a break to work and crochet. But this is much more enjoyable and relaxing. Oh, hi hamster boy. Yeah, since I started crocheting, I've been recommending it to everyone I speak to ever. It's such a good outlet. I mean, I'm kind of one of the only people doing this for, as far as art in this community goes, and selling it on Etsy, but I definitely am not opposed to anyone else joining the party, whether that be just crocheting OCs, warriors, selling them, whatever. I'm so happy doing this and would be happy helping other people get started too. It's been a good way to be involved in like the fandom without having to stare at a screen constantly, because I found that to be my biggest challenge. Now I'm wondering if these eyes are going to be too big. So I don't want it to look super bug-eyed. Oh, it looks like they should be fine actually. Well, I'm glad you're working on your health fox story. I hope that you find all the help and healing that you can, and that it helps you to be able to work and also feel good and okay while doing it. That can be really challenging. Knitgrit, is that a YouTube channel here? I definitely learned just by watching a few YouTube videos. You know, another great thing about crocheting is how easy and cheap it is to start. Like, you can get a whole skein of yarn. This is a skein, pretty big amount, for $2 or $3 for just a basic acrylic yarn. And of course, you can spend as much as you want on yarn because there's always going to be something nicer. Hooks are only a few dollars as well, and I made a snail my very first day crocheting, and it was just a sweet little guy. And of course I've learned more stitches and learned that I was doing stitches wrong and improved a heck of a lot since then, but it's a pretty wonderful quick start craft. I do recommend. Even just be a day project if that's all you want it to be. Make your persona or OC your favorite warrior cats character. I dare you. It's a lot more accessible than it may seem. Hi Jojo Lee. The bird scissors, yes. These are actually my grandma's. Well, they were. She doesn't sew as much anymore, so I got a lot of her supplies. using those little bird scissors. Everyone's got them, all the cool kids. That's so beautiful. Whew. Just about 10 minutes into the stream and we've already almost got a full head. I'm getting so much faster at this. Guys, snails are seriously the most fun to make out of anything I crochet. They're the most popular thing for people to order as well. You can get a crochet mystery snail. I make them to order and suggest a color or send me their personality or life story. And I usually send them out within the same or next day. And I think I've sold as many of those snails as I have anything else combined on my Etsy, and I'm not complaining. We love snail mail. Okay, now we've got a little kitty head. The stitch got a little messy here, but luckily that's right where the muzzle's going to go, so I don't have to redo it. I can just leave it there. I'll leave a little tail on the end so I can use this to stitch the head to the body once we get there. And that's piece number 1. Ooh, a frog or a narwhal. Nice. That sounds like a lot of fun. I can see how a frog would have its challenges. What am I doing next? The body. I'll do the body next. Guys, should I put a sweater on this kitty? I just can't decide. Look at the reference again. It's a pretty green sweater. Oh yeah, okay. I'm totally gonna do a sweater. Let me get my yarn out. Ah, I have the perfect color right here. Body time. Now I usually start heads with a chain. I don't know if it's still technically a chain if you're doing it on a round or the beginning of a magic circle, but I usually start with 6 or 7 stitches, but since this is going to be a body with a much wider base so that they can sit on it, I'm going to do 10. And since I was talking, I lost count, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Counting stitches is the worst part of crocheting, especially because I will count them and immediately forget. But it's probably good to train my brain to do that. And sometimes I just don't. Sometimes I just don't count stitches and everything's okay. The only time it's super important is to make sure your legs match and are the same sizes. I learned that the hard way. Ooh, I do just want to warn you guys, my cat will likely come and visit. She'll probably knock all these little props around and come sniff and hang out. She's napping, so we're safe for now, but she tends to. People who view on Twitch are used to her little visits, but I'm testing out YouTube as an alternate format to Twitch. It's just something I'm a little more used to, and I have more of my audience is used to visiting in this format, so it might be what I prefer to Twitch already. Although I don't know. If I keep streaming Minecraft or Nintendogs, that might stay. Nintendogs has been a dangerous addiction lately. But I can't explain why. It's very repetitive. Play with your dog, food, water, walk, get all the presents, do your competitions every day. The moment I like unlock a new breed or something cool happens, I just can't stop. Gotta get the Jack Russell. I think I get the Shih Tzu next. And then I get a new dog of that breed and I start all over training them, and it's pretty evil. Yeah, I actually found when I was first starting crocheting, somebody had a whole bunch of yarn that they were trying to get rid of for like $5 on Craigslist. And that was how I got most of the colors that I use. Of course, any specific ones I do still have to go hunt down in the store. And it can be difficult with people's OCs. But looking secondhand could save you even more money, especially starting out. I was able to get some hooks that way as well to get started. And then of course the hooks, I was kind of using this kind, where there's no wide handle. And they made my wrists a little sore at first, but I've had problems with that before from drawing, so I had to upgrade and use special boy hooks with handles so I don't break myself. I'm gonna cut off this little end because it's annoying. I'll use it to stuff later. Don't you worry. Now I'm going to switch colors. I'm actually going to be switching colors every like 5 or 10 stitches or so to make this character's tan belly. Which is partially why I would like to put a sweater on them, because then I don't have to do it for as long, and it also just makes for a neater look overall. Excuse me, out of the way. Thank you. What do we think? Is that enough for the belly? Let's do one more. I found that the best time to switch colors is right here before adding in that final stitch. You always have to switch your colors a stitch before you actually want the color to show up, and that was a concept that was difficult for me to grasp at first. I've also sent some crocheting supplies to some of my supporters on Patreon, so anyone who's involved there, or if you ever make an order on my Etsy, if you leave a little note or send me an email letting me know you want to start crocheting, I'll certainly pop in some supplies to your order and mail to you. I'd be happy to do that. Because I do send out monthly gifts for certain amounts of Patreon supporters, or for higher dollar Patreon supporters as well. I want to spread the yarn love. Oh no, I hope you guys can't hear my computer complaining. She's a worrying and working hard. I know you're not made for streaming. You're made for homework pretty much exclusively. I'll upgrade someday in the next 10 years. I'm about to graduate college and start teaching, so it's going to be a little while. But I'll get there. Man, going to school to become a teacher during the pandemic has been quite the interesting interesting experience. I'm learning to teach music, which might be among the most difficult things to teach remotely. And learn remotely. I mean, I was learning the oboe about this time last year remotely. I mean, my neighbors are very well, but I'm not going to shoot, what an instrument to pick up and learn on your own and attend video lessons for. The oboe and I have an interesting relationship. We always have. Oddly enough, it ended up being one of my favorite instruments that I've had to learn in college. The flute? The flute was so difficult. I just couldn't get the embouchure right, like my mouth shape and hair to make a sound. I worked so hard at the flute just to sound like essentially hot garbage. It's gonna be the bottom of my sweater, do you think? Feels like a little early. It really just depends on how flat this bottom part's gonna sit. Let's do one more round. One more round and we'll start our sweater. We'll start it in the back. Yeah, we'll start it. Ooh, you know where I'll start it? I'll start it in the armpit. So that's the easiest place to cover up if the transition looks messy. Because you guys don't want to know what kind of messy stitches are underneath these armpits. And you never will. You can't see them. They're not actually too bad, but still works better to hide them. Hello, Sunbird. Hello. Everyone who's coming to visit now, it is craft time. I'm just spreading my crocheting propaganda to anyone who's ever considered starting and talking about school. How are you? I think my cat just woke up, so that could be interesting and chaotic in a few minutes. Oh, well, hi. Good luck with your online class. I hope that you enjoy the stream. I appreciate you stopping by. I was just rambling about my online classes myself. Is necessary, and I'm glad that I had the option to do what school I could online. But this format just does not work for me. In person was way, way more effective. Although at this point I'm just kind of ready to be done with school. But I'm almost there. Before long I'll graduate. Wow, that's so weird. I feel like I just graduated high school. I'm gonna be an adult. Probably still drawing warrior cats on the weekends. So whatever that. Sweater time. I hope you have a great time too. Enjoy your class.
Do you think Blue Reddy ever really comes and looks in my window at night?
Funny, I stopped animating regularly It'd be nice to work with them again. Honey, my evil cat, will probably be happy when I leave the house more regularly. Split the yarn! Man, that gray yarn works so much better than this one. I got a little too comfortable.
Check it.
Yeah, finding a decent green yarn was surprisingly hard. There are just no proper shades of green available, it seems.
Check.
First round of sweater. Browns and oranges are really challenging too. I mean, the surprising thing about, well, I guess it's not surprising, but the most difficult thing about making everyone's characters has been finding the right colors. There's almost always some sort of compromise that needs to happen on the palette. But luckily, we've always been able to find one so far, so that's good. I'm not emotionally ready to dye my own yarn. Oh, hi, Ice Dog! Nice to see you. Long time no chat. I hope you're well. Oh no! The yarn's not behaving. Doesn't it know that I'm working here? Body! She's happening! This is looking quite nice. Man, my stitches are so neat after taking a few days off. I'm going so much faster too. I think I might be able to get this little buddy sent off today or tomorrow if I'm diligent about it. Although actually I make no such promises. I have 3 big assignments due Friday that I'm not currently working on. I will though, I will. This is my break. And I will have another break also. I will probably take a nap after this. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Online school and pandemic stuff has not been enjoyable, but I'm enduring, I'm vaccinated, and looking forward to starting a new job this summer. And crocheting has been probably the best thing that's come out of all this. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm just constantly being harassed by an evil kitty. And constantly working with yarn has certainly exacerbated that. I shouldn't have done another round. I'm scared this sweater's gonna look like a crop top. No, it should be okay. I'll move the lighting down a little bit more so you won't be able to tell. I'm not interested in redoing 5 rows just to prevent crop top. Crop tops are cute. She can do whatever she wants. Oh no, yarn split, look out. Crisis averted. Okay. crochet, chain, then move on to the double. That helps our transition. Very nice, very nice. Just one round of this and we will move on. Oh, thanks, Ice Dog. I think it will. I've worked with that organization before, and I think that they're going to do a good job of keeping everyone safe. Silly polyfill. I stuck with my yarn scraps that would have been thrown away if I didn't, and I actually prefer the form and texture it gives them. It's a lot sturdier. It's also just a lot less wasteful. I keep a little bag. And I tend to choose yarn scraps that are close to the color of whatever I'm making, just in case they ever do peek out or peek through the stitches, but with as tight as I stitch them, it doesn't seem to ever be a problem, even if I do use like a crazy bright green or something. And the great thing about these crochet hooks is they are also good stuffing tools. This little pointy end. It's very effective. I actually didn't realize for a long time that that's what that was for. And the day I discovered, oh boy, that was a happy time. Stuffing can be this blend is actually really not working very well, so I'm just gonna get it off. It's loosening up the whole deal. So I have eliminated it from the situation. Oh, good to know. Thanks for letting me know that the music was a little too loud. Oh, wait. Can't seem to find the music right now. Here's what I'll do. I'll just turn it down in Spotify. Hopefully that balance is a little better. I can always adjust it. I've thought about doing these sorts of streams where I don't talk as well and just have some chill music on. I don't know, maybe I'll give it a shot. Someday. But if that's the case, I'll probably just do it for hours. I'll put a movie on and disappear from this plane of reality. Although that sounds like a great time. What? It's a little pipe cleaner end. Excuse me. Where did you come from? My scrap bag is a mess. Although it is a scrap bag, so that's probably appropriate. It's so important to stuff the neck enough, but so hard to do. We don't want floppy head. Hi there, welcome to the stream. Yeah, that might be fun. If I don't have my mic on, I probably will stream for a solid 4 or 5 hours, which I suppose isn't too bad of a thing. Man, one reason I've been so productive crocheting was the job that I just had. It was just a temporary job for the semester, but I was working at a call center, sitting at a desk all day, dialing and answering the phone, and it sucked, and it was horrible, and I'm terrified of phone calls. It was not a good time, but I could just crochet throughout the whole thing, which is honestly, quite frankly, why I stayed. And that was a very, very helpful thing. I got so much done. And could also afford food, so helpful. We've got our head and our stuffed body. And just for the heck of it, I'm gonna sew the head on now. Sometimes I sew things on as I go, and sometimes I wait till the end. But quite frankly, I like to sew things on as I go just because I need a quick break from crocheting the actual pieces together. I'm gonna change things up a bit. And I think my sewing experience has lended itself very nicely to crocheting what I have been doing. As well, I'm new to any sort of crochet or knit kind of fiber arts. I've been sewing since I was a very small child. So I at least understand the structure and what pieces I need to make, and then the crocheting part is just figuring out how to make them neatly. Keyword, neatly. Yeah, call center jobs are not for me. I mean, it was even worse because we called people asking for charitable donations, essentially just asking them for money. So people were rightfully quite angry a lot of the time. And I learned how to not take it personally, but by the end I just was so burnt out and didn't want to go to work. But now I'm moving on to a job where I get to be an actual person again, so that will be nice. Yeah, the crocheting was a really big help. Also just very calming. Well, thanks. I need to finish stitching the head on a little bit more, but since I'm gonna have some facial details that are gonna be the same color, I'll probably do it at the same time as I add them, just to save on time and yarn. And since I don't really want to make the limbs right now, that's my least favorite part. Maybe we'll get started on the facial features. Oh, that is not a crochet hook. That is a yarn needle. Silly goose, silly child. For the muzzle, I'm just going to do 5 double crochets around. And since this is a cat, I'm probably only going to need to do 1 round for longer muzzles, you just continue crocheting until you get the length that you'd like. Oh yeah, you're certainly welcome to give it a go, Honey Talia. I have a pattern available on my Etsy right now, but it's not updated. It's one that I used back in October with single crochet stitches instead of, now I'm doing half double crochet, so it takes a lot less time. So I'll definitely post about it there when it is up to date. But it's also a fairly simple pattern that I came up with, just a bunch of orbs and teardrop shapes, and you're welcome to just go for it and figure it out. I'd be interested in seeing what you made. A few people have gotten the pattern, but I haven't seen any results of people trying it out, so I hope that they've enjoyed. Oh yeah, if you're ever interested in crocheting ice, you should totally give it a shot. It's so accessible to start, I was surprised. I made a snail on my very first day. And so calming. Oh yay, good luck with your froggy. You guys can always send me your crochet stuff, I love to see it. Tips as well, I mean some of my followers on Twitter or anywhere else or here have often given me some tips and corrections on things that I'm doing. I really only started in October, and I'm trying to use, I'm trying to implement as much technique as I can as I learn, but yeah, sometimes I don't always do things in the most efficient way, and I appreciate advice. Although the amount of hours I've put in since I started in October has made for some really significant improvement. I kind of wish I would have kept some of the first things that I made so I could compare them to what I do now. I mean, even this one's an example. These are all single crochet stitches, and they aren't quite as even, so there's some mess-ups in the back. Whereas now with my half double crochets, they're a lot more even, and I think the texture is honestly preferable. But man, some of those first ones I did. I mean, the most notable thing is they took about 3 times as long. So I was still figuring out exactly what I was doing. Yeah, I've been making this up as I go for the most part as well. I mean, I talked earlier about counting stitches and how I struggle with that because I can't pay attention and I forget. So while I do count rows, especially when I'm working in the round, a lot of my projects end up being slightly different in size, maybe a few stitches off or an extra round for one if I maybe missed a couple increases and have to adjust for shape and form. And that's probably not ideal when it comes to good crocheting technique, but it has taught me a lot about how my increases and decreases affect the shape of what I'm making. So it's a good trade-off, I think. I'm no professional, but this is certainly how I enjoy doing it, and it's working quite well for me. And of course, I'm a lot more careful when I'm working on something I'm going to sell. And if something doesn't turn out, I will not price it as though it did. Ooh, a knitted rabbit. That seems really cozy and fun. Making the limbs can be the biggest pain for me because it just feels like, okay, I've done the body, I've done the face, I've done all the expressive parts that make this character who they are, and now I have to make repetitive teardrop shapes and sew them to the body, I guess. But I'm also just impatient. and ADHD. I want to be done. I want to finish every project in one sitting. I gotta go. So much to do. Oh, thanks JP or JC for the really sweet words. Make sure you use a coupon. There are always some floating around. Especially if you like leave something in your cart or favorite it, I think you'll get an email with one as well, and people who have purchased before should get coupons for my Etsy. So if cost is ever a problem, they're around and about. I encourage use coupons. I'm just so thankful to get to do all this. And I mean, it's such an honor that people want to buy these, my goodness. I'm so happy to share with the world. Silly, wonky, funky cats. For the ears, I'm chaining 5. No, I'm chaining 4. I should write this down because I will forget. For ears, I'm chaining 4, and I'm going to do a row of single crochets. The ears are sometimes still the most nuanced part of what I do. Oh, a cute rabbit in a dress. Embroidering takes so much patience with yarn. In fabric, it's easy just to pick your spot and go, but getting in between the stitches and making things look even, especially with when my rounds aren't always perfectly even. I understand. Although my past experience in the amount of cross-stitching and embroidery I've done has been helpful. And if I actually grow up and use a thinner needle instead of my big wonky yarn needle that's safe and fun, sometimes I can get a little more detail in there. Ear number 1. I chained 4 and then did slip stitches along the edge to make that little border. This also needs a tan ear tip. I'm saying this out loud so that I don't forget. Ear number 2, magic circle. Slip knot. 4 half double crochets. And close. Slip stitch the edge. 1, nope, slip stitch, not half double. A 3 from the owl from the Tootsie Pop commercials. A 4. Crunch. The world will never know. Do they still show those? I hope they do. Alright. 2 ears, now we just shape and add their little tan ear tip, and I think it's going to be easier to do so once they're sewn onto the head. So let's do that. I'm going to start a row and a half above the ear. above the eye, not the ear. This is the ear. Oh no, I made a mistake. Yeah, crocheting's simultaneously easy and not. I think that it can be a lot of kinesthetic skill, but it's all repetition of the same few stitches and techniques. So once you've got your stitches looking nice and consistent, there are a lot more options and opportunities for what you can do with them. Now, if you ask me to make a scarf, I don't know if those would come off as polished as these do, because making straight edges can be difficult, and uneven stitches when working in the round, what I'm doing, starting off with my circles and building up the pieces by moving around those circles. It's a lot more forgiving in my experience. My straight edge scarves have all been a little bit crooked and wonky, so that's something that I look forward to improving on, especially come maybe the winter, and I can make some for gifts for holidays or something like that, and that would be a good opportunity to practice. Though there are some hat patterns that work in the round as well that I've had some success with. I mean, what I really need to do is sit down with a good YouTube tutorial and just do some test squares and granny squares and practice that way. But man, I'm busy making cats. I gotta go, so much to do. Not really, but I'm having a great time. Does this stripe move down the back of the head? Yes, it does. A little bit of embroidery for markings, since to add those to the pattern would have been a bit too ambitious. And the stuffing has escaped. Back with you. Back where you came from. And stuffing with yarn scraps is so great because every little bit can go back into that scrap bag, and really nothing gets thrown away for the most part. Yay, environment! I hope my Nintendogs are having a good day. Okay, fine, I also hope my girlfriend's having a good day. She's real cute. Hi there, Wolfie the Nightwing. How are you today? Thanks for stopping by the stream. We're glad to have you. for you guys, because you are watching. Ear number 2, let's go! These are looking a little more rounded than pointed, but hopefully when I add the tan ear tip onto those, it should be an easy fix. Oh, the head's a little tilted as well. Yep, that's fixable as well. Hurrah! Sewing yarn onto other yarn is probably the easiest sewing I've done in my entire life. One of the many benefits of crocheting over sewing things. And man, I do enjoy sewing, but I lack the skills to make most things. I'm making my own masks though, which has been nice. And it was especially nice around this time last year when you just couldn't find the things. Man, what a year it's been. Hello, Buck the Wolf 306. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for stopping by. I'm crocheting a custom character for somebody on Twitter who traded me for some old DS games. And I do take commissions for these, and you can check out my Etsy if you would like to do so. And also keep your eye out for some coupons. They're floating around. Oh, there's some that just get sent to you if you favorite something or leave something in your cart. But I might do a specific coupon for stickers since I have a little bit less time to crochet at this particular moment. To maybe give a better deal for anyone who would be interested in those. Ooh, that's a good idea. Sticker sale. Oh no, those ears are so round. No thank you. No worries though. That will be an easy thing to fix right up. Adding that tan colored ear tip. Oh, thanks, Fox Story. You're totally right. If you if anyone is ever interested in supporting me on Patreon, there are many coupons available there. I just posted a rather sizable coupon yesterday, so that might be a very good resource for anyone looking at my shop nowadays. Plus you get coupons just for being a supporter. Because I love y'all, I want to send you my things and I don't want you to break the bank. I mean, I'd also like to buy food, so selling them in general is a good solution for that, but let me love you. Here's a coupon. I'll send you a snail. Look out world. Snail time. Man, I'm so broke too, that's the problem. I hope to lower some prices someday, but with as long as these take me. I'm not quite at that point yet. There's always some coupons and sales though, so look out if you're ever interested. Adjusting my little chair. My knees hurt. Okay. Ooh. My back just popped. Hope you guys didn't hear that. It was a good one. Finish up embroidering this marking on the back of the head. And then we'll make those ear tips pointy instead of round. We'll do some cheek fluff. And since we're using the main color of the head for the cheek fluff, I will take that opportunity to sew the head to the body a little more firmly. I'm going to move the neck back so that the character is looking upwards slightly, so that tends to look a lot better with these patterns. Oh, these guys got all jumbled up. This is a strawberry cow. We love her. She just wanted to hang out. She doesn't get enough attention. I made a full-size strawberry cow, the size of one of these guys, but my girlfriend loved it so much I had to give it to her. Not listed on Etsy. It would be fun to make more cows though. I'm a cow fan, certified cow fan. They're such good friends. I also grew up working with cattle on our ranch and then for 4-H projects. So they're very nostalgic and sweet, and I do miss hanging out with silly cows and brushing them for hours to make them fluffy. Those were good days. I do get to go ride horses on the weekends again now, so that's been nice. It was something I did growing up, but I had to give it up when I went to college. So finding a way to do that has been very, very wonderful this year. Ear time, ear time. First thing I want to do is hide this end before things get too messy. Sometimes I forget to actually show the camera what I'm doing. Okay. Just add another little knot to point off the ears, as well as make them the correct color. do it. We'll do one more loop over here just to make things look a little bit tidier. And there we go. Now there's a light marking underneath the eyes on this character. Let's get that while I'm working with the color. Not quite there. Yeah. Oh, my fish tank just turned on. Good morning, fishies. Are you hungry? I bet you are. Oh no, I pushed the nose back down way too far. Rescue mission time. Hello, Wolf. I hope you're having a great day too. Thanks so much for hanging out. It is wonderful to see you here. What I didn't expect when starting to crochet these little guys is how much the way that I stitch things and how tightly I do so affects the shape of the little critter that I'm putting together. It's a bit of a blessing and a curse because I can use it to make corrections or make things look really expressive, but sometimes one wrong stitch can make someone look very, very wonky. Oh, I hear a cat. Someone's awake. Honey girl, you behaving? Oh no, she was shifting. She found a new nap position. We are safe for now. Oh, thanks for the recommendation, Wolf. I'm so glad you enjoyed Tawny. Thanks for your order and commissioning me. I love customs. They're significantly more work than most of my pre-made things, but my very favorite of all of my orders to do. And just so personal and unique. And a lot of times challenging in their own ways, but that can be super, super fun. Yes, they have forced me to learn a lot better techniques. Like these ear tips. If I were doing something pre-made, I probably wouldn't do something with a different color of ear tips, because it can be difficult to make it look neat. But now that I've got some practice with it, it works quite well. Ooh, that's a long yarn scrap. Good thing we're using it for stuffing. There we go. Those ears are pointed now, looking much more like cat ears. Let's finish off our facelift with some cheek fluff. Adjusting the fit of the head to the neck. And I'll fill in those ears too, so you can't quite see the, so you won't be able to see the tan strips going down. Which I couldn't quite avoid. Oh yeah, there's still an open hole right there. Let's sneaky. Attach it right here. And hide the end. One for anyone visiting who knows me more for my animations, don't you worry, I have a few things in the works that I will be posting on YouTube, hopefully in the next sometime in May? Question mark? I actually should have time in April. I'm done with school after next week, so who knows? Maybe I'll get something posted animation-wise by the end of April. I'd love to do that. But I've been missing this community and you guys. So I do hope to get some videos in the works soon. Crocheting has been a little all-consuming, but I'm not complaining at all because what a joy it has been. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, Buck the Wolf. And I hope some of your frustration feels better soon. That can be really hard with trying to create things when it affects your emotions, because I know my emotions get really involved in all the art I do as well. Crocheting always invokes a quite peaceful one, which I've found to be helpful in my life at this very interesting time. One tight stitch there. You can rotate the head a little so that it lines up with the tan mark on the chest. Tighten that up and reinforce it. Here with a little knot. A little knot that will be covered by the seam of the sweater, don't you worry. And there we go, our head is aligned. Now for the ever important cheek fluffs. I don't know, there might be a better way to do these than how I do them. But I start by letting the yarn leave the face at approximately the spot where I'd like for them to be. And then using a tiny crochet hook, keep it underneath one of the stitches in the head base. And then shape the cheek fluff from there. I could certainly make the pieces separately from the head and then attach them by sewing, but I've always found that this integrates them to the shape of the critter just a little bit more nicely, and it saves some time too. Except for when it gets complicated like this. Worth it. Okay, so we chain 4, do a single crochet, and then we're going to do 1/2 double, if I can There's the problem. Not split my yarn. There we go. We're going to pull that all the way through. I'm going to cut the yarn right here because I've got way too much there on the end. And we're going to stitch it right on. That's maybe a little pointier than I would like, so I'll shape it down a little bit as well. Embroidering, as I said, is very forgiving when it comes to the form and eventual silhouette of what you're making. I grab this end here. How is that going to look when I flatten out my piece? Oh wait, this is actually quite accurate to the character. She kind of has these cheek fluffs that cascade down, look kind of curly. So that actually almost works for me. I don't love the shape, so I'm going to fix it up a little bit more. Securing it more firmly a little bit higher up on the head. There we go. That's exactly what I was working on. That's what I was hoping it would look like. Great. And just for balance sake, we'll add a little fluff right here before mirroring this process on the other side. Making it match can be difficult when I do as much shaping as I just did, but so worth it. Oh, good luck with your snail, honey, Talia. I hope it works out well. They're very good friends. I find them to be much easier than blankets or anything where there needs to be some sort of straight edge, but that's also probably just because that's what I've been practicing, is working in the round and not making nice pretty edges. Oh, hi Hamtaro, it's nice to see you. Long time no chat. Have a good call with your friend, Bug. Thank you so much for coming to the stream, and I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. I hope you have a good day or night too, and thank you. Looks like I'll finish this up pretty quickly. Yeah, we believe in you. Snail time. Three and 4. And then we're going to slip stitch and a half double crochet. Did I split the yarn? Is that what's happening here? Or is it just being weird? Who knows? Physics is weird. And regardless, it worked out. We've got our piece. Things are pretty good. The pandemic has been hitting me hard emotionally and financially and with school, but things are looking up. I'm all vaccinated and looking into a big, scary, exciting in-person job this summer, so there's some good news. And returning to school in the fall, I ended up just taking the semester off. Hi, Dragu. Yeah, I mean, the place that I learned to crochet was just using a few videos on YouTube. I should really compile all the ones that were helpful to me and have a place to post them or share them with you. But I found it to be really easy to pick up, so I totally recommend it. Made a snail my first day and just haven't stopped since. It's a really accessible art form. Good luck, and I mean a great thing to pick up during a pandemic. It's been what I've done throughout all of my online classes and when I worked from home for a bit, or even just when I worked my desk job, which I eventually went to in person. Kept me from losing my mind. So all my coworkers were very intrigued by whatever cow or dog or cat I was making each day. And I would get a little flustered, but they were sweet and supportive. Now our cheek fluff is almost done. If I can find a stitch to attach this to. There it is. No, come back, please. You don't want to pull it too much and loosen the form of the whole headpiece. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I do feel incredibly fortunate for, you know, I still have my apartment and I was able to find a job and I could financially handle taking the semester off of school, and I mean, crocheting has just been a godsend throughout all this, so I know I'm pretty lucky as far as the pandemic goes and everyone's having a difficult time, so I hope things are going okay for you as well, and that you are, as you said, making the most of what you got. Yeah, so I'll be doing a childcare job this summer for essential workers, and they do some educational programming preventing summer learning loss, and I'm going to be teaching some of those programs, which I look forward to because I'm in school to become a teacher, and this will be my first actual paid teaching experience. Of course, it's not a full-fledged teaching job, but I'm so excited. It'll be the most applicable work to what I'm hoping to do in the future that I've done so far. And of course, just working with with the kiddos is always a joy. I've been missing that over the course of the pandemic. All the kids I'd babysit or hang out with at work. Ugh. I think I took it for granted. Just make me laugh so much. It'll be wonderful to go back. And scary. I'm also scared, but that's okay.
What town is this?
Yay for vaccines! Get them if you can. I got mine Sunday and I already feel right as rain again. I was a little sick Monday, but nope, side effects are all gone now from what I can see. Yeah, it is a big step in my life. I'm really excited, and I think with all the education coursework I've been finishing up, and I just finished a field experience actually with a teacher doing distance learning.
Suddenly.
I feel fairly ready to finally step into a teaching role. It'll be a really good experience to have before I actually get a job at a school.
About 60 miles.
they will misbehave. But you know, that's fine and part of it. And I've started thinking about behavior and I mean how we think about it and how behavior isn't even really the end goal and shouldn't be. It should be allowing what we're trying to get across, if that makes sense. Whatever teaching or activity we're trying to do. Because when they're engaged, behavior isn't a problem. When they're enjoying what's going on. And of course, sometimes it is. There's always exceptions. And oh, wrong crochet hook. Anyways, teacher rant, but I've been getting a lot of new perspective on child behavior. 3, 4, 5. 5 around. Pose. These are gonna be our these are gonna be our arms. They're 4 legs. I'm doing no increases or decreases. After 1 round, I'm going to switch to my darker gray, then to my lighter gray after a couple, and then to the green so that our sweater has sleeves. This spare string is in my way, so I'm cutting it with the yarn scraps. Squeaky, squeaky yarn. Why are you squeaky? Why are my stitches so tight? Am I tense or something? Hi there, artistically inadequate. How are you doing? It's me. I'm alive. Or something. Wonderful to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Oh no. fooled me. Okay, actually that's gonna work out just fine. No, it's not. Okay. We're gonna do one more stitch of the tan color because I tied that off in a weird spot. And now we're ready for gray. Why is the tan so squeaky? Acrylic yarn be like. Squeaky, squeaky. Yeah, I have a cat named Honey and I have 3 fish tanks in my house. My cat is sleeping right now, but she usually does like to visit for these streams. It's actually time to feed some of my fish. I could show you guys if you're interested. Although I don't know if you could see them very well from here. Could only really show one of the tanks because one is right next to my desk. The other 2 would require me to move this camera, and I don't know if it comes off of the robo arm I have it on. Yeah, you know what? Let's feed the fish. I'll show you. I don't have any mess that I need to worry about, do I? Oh, hi, Orchestra. Yeah, I started crocheting in October and it's been such a blast. Fish time. Is this the best way to show? You can't quite see the front of the tank, but there's a little shrimp there, and I'll feed them by this wall so you all can see. Hello, fishies. Say hi to the people. Oh yeah, these are, this tank just has white cloud minnows as well as some red cherry shrimp that breed in here. Oh, there's some flake mess on the edge of the food, so I'm just knocking it off. Hi guys, do you want to say hi? Say hello to the people. And enjoy your breakfast. There's some messy plants. Here. Say hi to the people. Now my hand's wet. Oh yeah, you can hardly see them, but they're enjoying their breakfast. You guys hungry babies? Yes, they're enjoying their breakfast. There's baby shrimp down there. And these are white cloud minnows, not that you can really see. They're a nice, easy, cold water fish. Well, relatively cold. There's still a heater in there, but well, most of your tropical fish that you get for pets like it around 75 to 80 degrees or so. These ones stick around 72 or even in the 60s. I keep it 72 in here because there's also shrimp. Okay, it's breakfast for them because they haven't eaten today. It's 1 p.m. here. I've had my breakfast, but they wake up around lunchtime for me. That's when I feed. And now, I'll go get the cat. Look how real. Honey, the people have asked to see you. They are requesting your presence, little baby. Wanna say hi? She's super sleepy. She just woke up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll hold your front feet. You gonna get the fish, baby? This is my honey cat. She's 2 years old, and she's a big baby. And she's very sleepy because I just woke her up from her nap. And she says hello. Hey, big baby. Are you having a good day? Yeah, she's really enjoying these switches. Hi, hon. Yeah? And she actually doesn't care for the fish at all. She doesn't even really watch them. Okay, let's resituate my camera. Return to Art Town. Ugh. That looks like about where we were. Yes. Yeah. Whoa, it's so hard to get the camera angle I want. And now Honey's gonna do the rest of the crocheting, okay? It's Honey's star. She is so the leader of this clan. Okay, yeah, I know. No, you can't go there right now, baby. You can't go there right now. No, I know that's your place. But my laptop's up there. You can't look up that window. You have to look out the other window, honey. You have to look out the other window. My goodness, you're gonna knock everything over. You crazy cat. I know, I woke you up. And now I'm treating you this way. That must be really hard for you. I'm so sorry. Okay, fine. Well, no, she's got her butt in all my stuff. Silly cat. Do you mind? Honey girl, do you mind? She doesn't. She's very happy with what she's doing. Okay, well, back to business. Thank you guys for saying hello to Honey and my fish. Her guest appearances are always fairly well received. Even though they are quite a bit of trouble for me. She's making a bed out of my yarn bag right now. Yellow baby, good morning. And she's the best girl. And also the worst. She trouble. She trouble, kitty. She trouble, kitty. No, don't attack the yarn. Now the rest of the stream is just me talking to my cat. Welcome to my life. This again. Tying knots, my dudes. The hardest part about crocheting. The only thing I can really manage to mess up consistently. Tying knots. Never get it tight enough. Have trouble doing them. Have trouble keeping them in the right spots. I'm sure there's an easier way. A better strategy than what I'm doing. But alas, I'll struggle my whole life. No, please don't attack the yarn, actually. Like, I would prefer you to not do that, honey. Nope. No, thank you. And here's your toy. That's what you can play with. Thank you for complying. Kids. What do you do with them? All these ends are getting on my nerve. Time to stuff them. Goodbye. maybe another reason why the legs are so much more difficult than the head and body is that you're working on a smaller scale. And a little bit more attention to detail there. And it requires a little bit more time. One more round of the dark gray and then move on to our green sweater sleeves. And actually, I lied. That's not what's gonna happen. We're switching to the sleeves right now. Because here's our length thus far, and it would make sense for the sleeves to start here. So we've got 2 rounds of tan, 2 rounds of dark gray, 1 round of light gray, and move on to the sleeves. I'm saying this out loud so that I remember. And this is really something I should write down. Keyword should. But it's all good, I got this. We are chugging right along. One more round of green and we'll be all done. Before we do that, since the round, I'm going to decrease to kind of give the arms a bit of a teardrop shape. It's going to blend them a lot more neatly into the shoulder. I'm going to stuff them up because it's going to be harder to do so once the end is smaller. More narrow opening. The legs are one thing where it can be easy not to stuff them enough. But making sure to do so really gives the creature a nice form. That has been very helpful to learn. Decrease here. What? That's weird. It picked up a piece of the stuffing. I should be able to fix that though. And there we go. We've got some arms. Let's dissect this little piece of tan out of our sleeve. And looking nifty. Now I'm going to do the other front arm. And I think once I do so, I'm going to end the stream and go take a nap because I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. But it'll sew onto the body like this eventually. We'll get some sitting back legs there too, a tail, and embroider a little nosy. And this character is looking pretty close to done. Where did I put my tail? It's on the floor. Did I change 5 or 6 at the beginning? It was 5. This is why I should write this down. And 5. rid ourselves of this obnoxious end. And finish off our tan portion with another round of 5. Oh, the fish are so happy now that they've eaten. They're swimming around all lazily and checking the floor for crumbs. What a good day for them. And let's move on to our dark gray. Got 2 rounds of dark gray before we move on to our light. Now the ever difficult knot tying portion. Well, these can also be tricky because I have to make sure that the stitches aren't too tight but aren't too loose. I need to tighten them up a certain extent to get the round cylindrical shape of the leg, especially to make it even between both sides. But too tight makes it really hard to stitch around. And it's also bad for your wrist and a little bit tougher on the material. So I'm pulling the string tight with each stitch, which you're not supposed to do. But hey. It's also because I'm working on such a small scale. Ooh, you know what I could do instead though? Be a smart person and use a smaller hook. I think I will try that in the future. But for the sake of I have already started this, I will not try it now. Light gray. It's light gray hours. We got 1 round of this before we finish up with our green. See, there's where it's a bit too tight. And it's hard to get that hook through initially. But luckily not too bad. I used to have a much bigger problem with this, especially when I was doing single crochets for every single piece of every single character. Oh boy, was that a time. My life has gotten so much easier since I switched to half double. I do recommend. It's green time. I've used so much of this gray yarn. It was once a big scheme. But this is one of the most frequently used colors I have, actually. I was washing the yarn intently. Hi, Sleepy Cat. Do you need played with? Are you full of wild energy today? She is. She's full of wild energy. with me. I'm gonna take a nap with you. Get sleepy, cat. No, I just woke up. It's crazy time. I'll nap alone. I just hope she doesn't knock anything over while I do it. But I'm sure she will. You go, kitty. You go, girl. Alright, and now that these loose ends are getting annoying, we'll use them to stuff the paw. Ooh, these are looking super even. That's good news. Seem to be stuffed about the same amount as well. Let's finish up our sleeve. Ooh. We're gonna need a little more stuffing in there. That's a little too loose for my liking. That can be done. Much better. And time to do our decrease. We'll finish off our leg. Sweet, so we've got two identical forelegs that I dropped. Our head, body, and most of our face. She just needs a nose. And these legs will get sewn on at the shoulder, just like this. And I'll have to save that process for next time I crochet. And maybe I'll do it on stream again, who can say? I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by and hanging out. And I'll finish off this stream with a honey cam. Honey, you say goodbye to the people. No, I will not do that. You say goodbye to the people, Buns? Get the camera. Get it! Get it, baby! Beautiful girl. Hi! Oh, you want a sniffy? Thank you. Oh my goodness, honey. In front of the people. Do you understand that we're live right now? And at least one person just saw you bite my poor little hand. You cat. Well, I'm gonna go try and recover from what I've just suffered at the hands of my clearly vicious cat. And thank you guys so much for stopping by while I stream. I'll see you later.